Alright, what is up, you beautiful people, and welcome back to another Direct Strike Weekly Brawl tier list. Let's go. Okay, so there's no mill income. Okay, we've got some Hallowed in our staging area, and we have a bit of this stuff here. We've got the Stronghold. So those are our Brawl modifiers. No mill income, Hallowed staging area, so we got that cooldown reduction, and we got this Stronghold going on. So you know what? I'm just going to go straight to tier 2 and just ignore everything, boys. And I think what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna go for Swarm Hosts, because as Abathur and as all these buildings, I think Swarm Hosts is gonna serve us pretty nicely here. Got some Hot and Horner Mag Mines here going off. Oh, just missing that probe. But yeah, maybe a roach or two could have helped clean up the probes. But I think I'm just gonna go use all my money on Swarm Hosts. So yeah, anyways, I was doing some research on Alarak because I'm like trying to put out the Alarak guy, and I realized that I actually don't know too much about Alarak. As I'm playing him, I'm just like, wait a minute, Alarak outside of Weekly Brawl is literally not the same. Weekly Brawl Alarak is like Giga Chad, usually. Not in the Weekly Brawl. Alarak is like, you're kind of actually just like Swan, is what I found out. In the sense that, holy, getting that first Vanguard takes so much money, and then once you have it, it's like getting that first Wrathwalker. But you know, like once you start piling on the Wrathwalkers, it'll be okay. But it looks like I'm against a bunch of Banshees here. Oh, that's lame, boys. I can't beat those right now as they are. Alright, well, let me just get an Overseer here. It's got scanned. Okay. Well, I know what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to get some Mutalisk or something. Mutalisks are actually really good against Rainer's air units, but... Whew, I have to sneeze. Oh my god. Anyways, yeah, so like I realized like I know nothing about Alarak in normal mode, because I tried him out and I was just like, wait a minute. The strategies I normally use in a Weekly Brawl don't work out. And so... gonna have to change things up a bit. Well, it's good though. I did some research and I was just like, wait, this is not it. Research in the sense that I just played a few rounds and I was like, hey, this is not it. This is not it, boy. Anyways, because like I think in weeklies you can just gas like a crazy person. First of all, you know. Second of all, like I don't know, because especially with something like Stronghold, right? Like you have so much more time to like just do your own thing. That is a ton of Banshees, by the way. Holy. Pressure is kind of on for us to do something though, because we've got Banshees, we got Wraiths. I think I'm just gonna slam down this whole area to the Mutalisk. Of course, it's a Rainer going Banshees, so yeah. I need to get my my upgrades though. I gotta get that Vicious Glaive and stuff. We also have a Hot and Horn, but what's our Hot and Horn doing? Okay, Hot and Horn is setting out ground units here. Okay, enemy Hot and Horner has gone for the Wraith option. And there's a Nova. Okay, so this is basically a mirror match. Basically a mirror match. With the exception of myself against Rainer. I think Mutalisks are actually pretty good against Vikings. You just gotta... It takes a little bit of time for them to get rocking. But yeah, we get that Vicious Glaive. Get that 6-target bounce. That's the most lethal one. And then... I guess I can get Sundering. Because Sundering's not too bad. I'll get the armor pen here. Oh my god, the mag mines just wrecked me here, but I'm gonna use men because I have all those stacks there. And then these guys are gonna go right into the base here. That's alright. That's what my Swarm Hosts are here for. Oh my god, Locust. Please. Alright, oh that's okay. Is this one not gonna spawn Locust? Why do I have you here then? Hello? Anyways. Some Zealots coming out here. This one is simply not going to spawn Locust. Oh man, I wish I could still micro. Oh, can I micro it now? I can't stop it from unburrowing. Okay, well that's lame. I can't micro it. I can't micro it yet. So, anyway, let me put that on our Swarm Host. I'm just going to balance between Swarm Host and Mutalisk, I think. Devourers are not that great against Vikings because they are slow moving. And while they have a lot of health, they are armored as well. So, they actually take extra damage. So, yeah. Anyways. Should get this upgrade as well. Yeah, I'm gonna get this upgrade. Boom, 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 boom. I think my Mutalisks are a little distracted here. That's okay. As long as the Banshees are dead, I don't really care. Like, the Vikings can't actually fight the Locust too well. So there's that. But yeah, that was a surprising revelation for me, I suppose. The Alarak stuff. I guess like the super pricey units are actually just really tough, and I think like you just have to end up rushing Vanguards almost all the time. Because if you don't rush Vanguards, you just get slammed by large swarms of enemy units. So yeah, I think I gotta clump these bad boys up a little bit more here. There we go, boom. Put down one of these. Oh, can I biomass you? Let me do that. Drop that biomass over there. Put that over there. But yeah, for example, like Stronghold just like slows the game down by so much. So commanders who do well with scaling are naturally just gonna do better. Let's see, Mutalist Squadron here. I'm gonna drop a men. Yeah, those Mutalists just tore everything up here. There we go. Tore up the cannons and everything because the double damage to armored is crazy. And like right now, I'm gonna gas. Like 6-minute gas if you're playing regular commanders is unheard of unless you want to lose. Or like you're winning the game so hard that the gas doesn't actually mean anything. Like you're gonna win anyways, sort of deal. So yeah, at least I don't know. That's my experience so far playing the normal commander mode. But yeah, I think right now my guides are mostly made around like weekly brawl balancing. For example, with Nova, like I've seen most people just go Marauder Commando, Marauder Commando, Marauder Commando, Marauder Commando. And that's pretty lethal actually, because Nova's Marauder Commandos have so much health and they do quite a lot of damage with their initial contact. So it's like pretty good actually. So yeah, I might have to revisit some of those guides. Ooh, get that bounce going. Is that the Rainer just switched to siege tanks? Alright, well I can tell you one thing, siege tanks are not going to be able to beat the swarm hosts. Let's see. Oh, I lost my overseer. Locusts are still going to be coming out here. I'm just going to keep buying locusts here. Abathur's locusts are going to be really good because of this stronghold. Like, they just constantly being protected. Sort of how like siege tanks would be pretty good because siege tanks are constantly being protected while they can destroy your opponent's stuff. I just realized Protoss don't really have like a proper long range siege unit, you know? Like siege tank's got a pretty long range. Like Colossus doesn't really have a long range. It's got a pretty small range for a siege unit. But yeah, what is it? Like yeah. I think Wrathwalkers are the only real siege unit, I think. Or like the only real long range siege unit I would consider. Because they got that big damage, actually same range as a siege tank, you know. Oh man, the Mutals are just tearing through those buildings. Oh man, beautiful. They're also absorbing all those snipes here, which is gonna be pretty good. My overseer is about to go down, so I'm gonna get the spit on them. Spit on them. Spit on them. So this guy has ghosts, and this guy has Goliaths. So basically, they just don't interact, except for the fact that he can't see him. Nice. Okay, well, I might just put like more overseers down, 'cause this is seriously just not working out. The Aimless Vikings are dominating Rainer. Did Rainer just give up and switch to tanks? I think he did. He gave up and swapped to tanks. There we go. Some Marines are getting sniped, I think, by the sound of it. Oh man, my nose is hella stuffed right now. I don't know why. Okay, all my Mutalists got sniped, but like they're just Mutalists, so it's like it's okay. I could probably have added more Mutalists to the mix. Somehow we still have detection. I don't see where my detector is. I think it might just be that missile turret. Well, that missile turret went down. Now this Nova needs to get some detection, man. Damn it. He's just scanning. I'm scanning too, but you know. There we go. Let's put down some more swarm hosts. I'm gonna keep swarming it up here. I'm kind of debating on getting a Guardian, but like, I don't think so. But it looks like we're slowly getting pushed back, though. Yeah, those tanks are slowly lining up and clearing off all our buildings here. That's a little bit bad. My mutalists are getting gunned down in the streets, boys, by those ghosts. Oh man, like, those ghosts are seriously problematic here. Please kill. Oh my god. Where are my fingers placed? Please kill the ghosts. Those ghosts are actually like just killing me. I can't even ping them properly. What the heck? Because it's just staying alive. I might just slam down some more mutas here. That way, like, because they can snipe the mutas, but I think the ghost's main snipe will kill the muta, but the secondary snipe will just severely injure it. And that's about it. So I think it should be okay if I do that. I'm gonna drop a mend here. Oh no, they're caught up on trying to kill the mutalisk and stuff. I mean they're caught up on trying to kill the ghosts, and then they're trying to kill the banshees. Oh jeez, carnage, boys. This is why you should always clear your wave. Because now Rainer's just got all these units there. You know what I need? I need some Vipers. I need some Vipers, boys. Abathur can uniquely handle siege tanks because of Viper tech. But should have got them a while ago, I suppose. I thought we'd be fine, but turns out we're not going to be too fine. That's a lot of grenade cards on the ground. And that's a lot of Deimos Vikings in the air. Oh, our Deimoses are distracted by the Ravens. Uh-oh. Great strategy, by the way. Oh, man. My mutas are getting murdered by that volley. Not to say they didn't do a lot of damage here, though. Our base is almost dead. Overseer's still going. Drop a mend here. And I really need to blow my nose after this. Holy. I don't even know how that happened, boys. I'm just chilling, and then suddenly my nose is like, I'm gonna act up. I'm gonna act up. Anyways. The ghosts are getting gunned down by my locusts. Come on, locusts. I think you guys can do it. There we go. There we go. I think 3 Vipers will be enough for now. Okay. Man, a stuffy nose does not feel good, boys. Holy crap. Ah! I'm gonna drop a fatty scan here. I don't know why I scanned that, I'll be honest. There's nothing invisible there. But my Mutaflock is just coming in and just destroying stuff, I suppose. Grabbing tanks. There we go. Grabbing enemy Goliaths. Not gonna be too bad. My Locusts are probably gonna absorb a lot of snipes here, so that's gonna be pretty good. Are there still ghosts here, by the way? There are still ghosts right here in front of us. Oh my god. We did not kill them. Okay, anyways. Back on the Swarm Host game. Maybe I should just get some more Overseers. I don't even know at this point. I've spent at least 2 Overseers worth of money scanning, so at this point I should just invest more Overseers. Well, Vikings are just getting clobbered by the Deimos Vikings, and siege tanks are just getting disabled by the Vipers. So the end is nigh, boys. The end is nigh. My single Overseer here. Please do not kill him. I need him. There we go. Those ghosts are getting taken out here. And our detection's coming forward. I got so much cash. I'm just gonna go for a gas, honestly. Get some more Vipers. I'm gonna get another Overseer. I'm gonna Biomass another one of these bad boys. There we go. Let's put a Viper here. But I think we're not gonna need that money. I'm just gonna mend it up a little bit. But yeah, that looks like some lasting damage on the base here. There we go, boys. Yeah, it's been a while since I've had a Swarm Host enjoyment game, I think. Mostly because I just stopped buying them as soon as they got nerfed, and like I couldn't stop them from unburrowing. That was honestly the biggest nerf, but understandable. I didn't do any damage, but I, you know, just anchored our line in place and just took a lot of hits. That's the Swarm Host thing, though. Like if you play Swarm Host, you're literally not gonna do any damage. But hey, I'm here for utility. My teammates managed to push through. They got their tanks on here. They got that, and then that's about it. All right, let's go to the tier list. All right, and we are back. Let's get right into it. Game plan. We'll talk about the auras, overall strategy, and the commander rankings. There you go. And if you guys have come this far and you guys are not yet subbed, be sure to drop a sub because we're actually really close to 3,000 subscribers. Poggers. But yeah, let's go. So, once again, recap of the modifiers. We got Hallowed, so the Saging Air grants us some buffs. So, nothing too new and spicy. There's no middle income. As well as we have Stronghold, so just got nice little bases being built up as we push up. So that's gonna be pretty useful. So overall strategy, I think aggro is obviously gonna be disincentivized. It's not gonna be as great. You want to stack probably as priority. Although I think there are still some aggro units that might be okay. I'm thinking about Reapers and Dragoons. I wouldn't actually consider Dragoons like an aggro unit, but I feel like Dragoons could be like a good somewhat of a siege unit. It's a little strange, but they've got 8 range, so it's like somewhat of a siege unit. And also like Ravasaurs maybe, but yeah, it's definitely easier to greed tech and greed gas this week, and I think you probably should do it. I don't know, there's no real need to, like, you know, run it down and knock things down. So just tech up for your siege units and buy as many of those as you can. So I think here's how everyone stacks up. So we got our crowd favorites. I don't know about crowd favorites, but I know definitely my favorites. Up in the S tier here, we got Manx, Alarak, and Nova. Not without reason though, in the sense that Manx's shock division's quite powerful siege unit. Definitely gonna, you know, pound for pound destroy most structures. And Manx can also benefit from just sending out lots and lots of Zerglings in the health aura. So like you have the shock divisions and then you have the meat shields, so it's not like you're lacking in anything. The only thing you're lacking, I guess, is in sheer volume of shock divisions you can buy, and also you have to get black hammers if your opponents decide to fly against you, which you probably should. If you're against Manx, you should probably fly, preferably with something that's bigger, so they can, like, you know, tank the black hammers better. I think Alarak's gonna be pretty strong because Wrathwalkers and Havocs, great combo. Havocs also are gonna help out your team's siege unit range. So all in all, Alarak's support power is gonna be pretty great. And Wrathwalkers are just great against buildings, great when they have buildings to hide behind. All around, really good stuff for Alarak. Nova, I think, with her extremely long range siege tanks are gonna be quite useful as well. And I think maybe you could just rush them. I don't even know if you need to buy a front line or anything. But yeah, I really don't think buying anything else unless like your opponent is forcing you to go like deal with air units, which is probably what you want to do against these commanders. But yeah, if you're fighting like ground on ground, it's like, I think this is going to be pretty powerful. Though I think they might actually struggle against the A tier commanders. Well, 2 of them at least, which is kind of funny for me to say. But so it's like, so shouldn't they be A tier? But I think by virtue of just how strong they are, I think the S tier commanders are better off by themselves. A tier commanders, or at least the 2, Dahaka and Abathur, will need support, in the sense that Abathur and Dahaka this week can probably go Swarm Hosts. I think Abathur Swarm Hosts are going to be a little bit more potent in the sense that they have Viper support. Dahakas don't have Viper support, but they do fly into sky and drop down. One of the weaknesses with that is that if your opponents just have ground units though, like they can just kind of bum rush your Swarm Host, I suppose. I guess there's run past. But you do have, for compensation, a Dahaka to like tank and stuff. But I do know that like just the stacking with the Swarm Hosts are just going to be really potent this week. And Dahaka could also transition to Creeper Host, which is basically just like Swarm Host, but like the siege tank version, which is also very potent. I have Raynor in the A tier because I think Raynor, well, he's got the very cheap tanks, very fast siege. You can just slam him down. And you can always dominate the air if it comes to an air battle. And you can buy Banshees to... Banshees also stack decently, and they do AoE. Though compared to tanks, they might not... They might be a little bit lacking, especially against some opponents. But yeah. And then in the B tier, I think we have a lot of viable commanders in the B tier this week. So Stukov tanks nonetheless are going to be pretty good, but they're very expensive. But I think maybe like a tank and civilian strategy could work. I don't know about bunkers. I feel like bunkers, you don't really need them because you already have bunkers everywhere around you. So yeah. Swan has more room to breathe this week, and I think maybe you could actually, I think you should still assemble a Swan Death Ball. I played a game where I just bum rushed it for tanks. Yeah, you also gotta kind of struggle against Swarm Host a lot because Swarm Hosts just naturally overrun tanks pretty easily. You need like a lot more tanks than Swarm Hosts to really beat them. Unless I think like Stukov tanks can do better because they have like a bigger AoE. So yeah, Karax I think actually is deceptively strong with his carriers this week. I guess the Colossus could be okay as well if you have to buy them to clear out Swarm Hosts. But I think carriers would be pretty good because everybody will be probably trying to build something on the ground. And then so you start stacking carriers, they're like, oh man, I got to deal with that. Same idea, same logic for Phoenix. And that being said, Colossus are pretty good against Swarm Hosts as well. Warbringer is really potent. And I mean, if you really want to meme it up, you could get some floating orbs of doom and make them invisible and put them in the cooldown reduction aura. Although I don't think that's a viable like long-term strategy. It could be a hilarious one. Zagara, I think Ashley's going to do a lot better this week because yes, you kind of don't have the stack potential, but you have the stack breaking potential. And I'm kind of curious to see what it's like to just slam down like a full board of Zerglings while everyone else is buying tanks. Because I think Zerglings are actually quite effective against tanks. They just charge them down, and the tanks are like, wait, that's illegal. And so it'll force your opponent to build something that will have to stay in between the Zerglings and the tanks. I think the Zerglings also have mad DPS, so they should be able to rip through buildings quite quickly. That and like your Banelings and your Abs, I think would be helpful to like add that extra final push. Han and Horner, once again, I think Galleons could be an interesting stacking unit. It's a little bit funky, of course, but also I think you could open like with Reapers. Because Reapers absolutely love buildings. They just do so much damage, like the 20 damage grenade, like boom, boom, boom. Or like might have a transition out of that. I don't think Reapers are gonna be feasible for the long term, although they do fly, so they technically do counter tanks if you do encounter them. And so it'll force your opponent to do something in the sky, which is exactly what you want, I think, against Han and Horner. You want to take it the fight to the sky, where you can just dominate it. So yeah. In the C tier, I have Artanis, Kerrigan, and Borzun. So Artanis' only weakness is his siege units that have AoE, also known as Reaver, runs on ammo. That's really bad against Swarm Hosts that endlessly come up against you. So you have to have so many Reavers to maybe even keep up with the Swarm Hosts. So that's like really bad. If you're not against anyone with Swarm Hosts, I think Artanis does not too bad. I feel like just a few Immortals and then large amounts of Dragoons could be hilarious. Because Dragoons are basically a siege unit with that 8 range that they've got. Not basically, but like, you know, they're like a medium go between. You can also go Tempest Enjoyment, which forces the fight into the air, but Tempests are also terrible against Swarm Hosts, and I feel like you're going to encounter a lot of them this week. So yeah, it's going to be a little bit tough for Artanis. Kerrigan, I think, deals really well with Swarm Hosts with her Ultralisk, and I think she can actually probably take out tanks pretty nicely too. So why is she in C tier? Interesting question. Maybe I gotta move Kerrigan up a little bit. But yeah, I think that's all she's really got though in terms of that. Her stacking abilities like Broodlords and Lurkers. Lurkers I found have so far historically been quite lackluster for me. You need so many of them to like and they all have to be shooting forward. But you know, lurkers sometimes they shoot sideways at the thing next to them instead, so it's not great. But yeah, Ultralisk I think will be vital to cleaving through Swarmhost. And I think they'll probably do a decent job against like tanks and everything else. So maybe Kerrigan deserves to be a bit higher up, boys. So yeah, we'll say that. We'll say that. Although if you guys don't listen to this, then you won't know, I guess. And then Vorazun, I think, I don't know if she's got much going on for her. You could probably go Stalker Stacker, but that's not great into tanks. And she has to deal with Swarmhost, which she's also not too great against. Corsairs could help with some, like, you know, a little bit of like battlefield disruption, maybe. I'm just thinking her best bet is just Invisible Void Rays, which are a pain to deal with. But that's like, I think, really the best strategy she's got going for her this week. I don't really see anything else. And finally in the D tier, we got Stetman and Tychus. Stetman because, well, I suppose you could just go for a big Baneling bust and like just run over Swarmhost like that, or like tanks or whatever. But other than that, Stetman Lurker as well. Focus Strike algorithm is good against select units. I don't think it's good against like it could be pretty potent against Locust, but I don't know, quite pricey. Might be better than Kerrigan Lurkers though. So we'll have to see. I feel like a Baneling bust might just be like a simpler way. But Stetman stacking units are like just the Lurker and then like the BCL. BCL is kind of vulnerable, as you know. But I mean, if you can get like a few of them up and running and they're totally uncontested, they could just take over the battlefield. But it takes so long for that to happen, so I doubt that's gonna happen. Tychus, I think, is just gonna have a hard time because there's so many targets for him to be hitting, and he's gonna be up against a lot of siege units. And Tychus generally does not like siege units. Usually the answer to Tychus is you get a bunch of siege units and like you blast them down. And so it's gonna be a lot harder for Tychus to do well. I think for this week Tychus might have to be like you might have to do something with Boswell, like just, you know, just jumping in with your stun, revive, and then like getting your tier 3 upgrade, which makes you do like giga damage to units. That might be the answer for Tychus this week, but I'll have to play around and see. I don't know. I don't think Kev is the answer because Kev, well, he's good against buildings, but it's not good against like Swarmhosts and most of the other things that you'll probably encounter. He's not bad against tanks if he can get to them, but the tanks are also good against him, so a little spicy. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about the tier list. I'm thinking Kerrigan probably deserves to be a bit higher actually, so let me know if you guys think the same. But yeah, until next time, I'll see you guys later.
The tires, let's light some fires.
Need a light. They picked the wrong fight.